In this video, we are going to analyze ICP's chart and see what is going to happen for it in the short term, mid term, long term, basically everything. So let's go. First of all, we have a downward trendish that it failed to break. It actually could break, but it was a fake breakout. And right now we are in the correction, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I think is going to happen. So as you can see, we had a closed candle just right on this trend line, and it couldn't close anything up, and we had a correction, but then we had a higher high, even closed the candle above this trend line, but it turned out to be a fake breakout and we had a drop. But just looking at this, then the fact that we couldn't break this trend line and it was a fake breakout, and we are losing each one of these support zones that we are having. I don't think that things could look good for ICP, and I don't think we're gonna go for any higher highs at least in the 2025. And the next resort that I would actually save it, that could have another pump for the 2025, would be this here, that the $5 zone that we actually might have a bounce from here, but I don't think it's going to hold down much because first of all, the whole market is bearish. Bitcoin is below 100k. So yeah, the whole market as a whole is not doing good, and ICP itself as a chart also not doing good either. So I don't think this is going to hold on, and we're going to continue dropping. And next would be $4 zone, and I don't think it's going to do much again because of especially the market. But I believe that the most important zone for we can actually be hopeful for it would be the base of this pump. Overall, ICP has been always down, and it never had an actual good bull run, and it always, since it was launched, it was always red candle over red candle, and each pump was just a lower high to just create a lower low possibility. And in the mid-October, that when we had this whole crazy crypto market crash, other altcoins like Solana, Ripple, even Cardano, they were up. So that crash that we had in the mid-October didn't do such damage, and they recovered quickly. But for ICP it was different because ICP had a lower low and it went near $1. And one of the things that actually might have helped this pump that ICP had was just this crazy drop, that it was the amount of buy orders were too much that helped it to boost. First of all, let's say the bullish scenario, although it's wishful thinking, but it's possible. It would be that we get a good demand from one of these demand zones, and then we get pushed back up, and we break this trend line, which is a key to actually go for higher high. And after that, we can have a good pump, like similar to this. But that, I think, is wishful thinking, especially in this market. Like other altcoins not doing good and expecting ICP to do good, I think it's just not logical. And in the real world, I believe the best case scenario would be that we have something like this, that if we don't break this area directly, and then eventually break and go for here, and then go for the base, and then we have to look what will happen here. If we break this, then other targets for the bearish scenario would be available, a $2 one, and of course ultimately $1 one. I personally wouldn't buy ICP at these prices, like even at these demand zones. Even though if Bitcoin have a good pump, I would still don't buy it. Certainly not buy ICP in these pumps, because again, go back and watch the ICP chart. It always had these pumps and dumps afterwards, so I don't recommend unless you want to do a scalp. So yeah, I believe that something like this could happen, the best case scenario. If not, that we go just directly to these areas, and then here we have to see. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. If we actually lose these demand zones, I think we're also going to lose this one as well. And I think the actual good one that we're gonna see stop or a good bounce, maybe it would be $2. I believe it's going to be a resting point for it, and we're gonna have a crazy consolidation for a long time. And whenever Bitcoin have a crazy bull run again, or the whole market, or the altcoins, or like alt season or whatever, and then maybe we can break away from this and then go for a higher high eventually. But this scenario is for the long term. For the short term, we might actually see a bounce from here, but I don't think it's going to do anything. I'm eventually going to lose this and then go for lower lows. And again, from any of these support zones like $4, we could see, I'm not denying that, an attack for the trend line. But don't forget about the whole crypto market. It's not going well. So add that to the ICP's condition itself, and I think we're going to lose this as well. And this is going to be our most important one. And if we lose this, I think we're gonna enter a low volume maybe. And thank you for watching. For more updates, subscribe.